One Piece Chapter 1095 Preview. The Secrets of God Valley. All eyes are currently on One Piece Chapter 1095, and given the major developments in the previous chapter, fans are glued to their seats waiting for action to continue on Egghead Island. In the previous chapter, fans got to see Saturn transform into his devil fruit form for the very first time after stepping foot on Egghead. Meanwhile, the fight between Luffy and Kizaru also ended temporarily at the same time. Now, fans expect the event of Egghead Island to continue. Spoilers from One Piece Chapter 1095 are coming out already, stating a lot of information being revealed about God Valley, among other things. While full detail of the contents of One Piece Chapter 1095 has not been revealed to the fans yet, what is known is that a good portion of the chapter will tackle God Valley. This is a mysterious island that once existed, likely in the West Blue. This island is believed to have completely vanished from the face of the earth after the God Valley incident, which was fought 38 years ago. It appears that One Piece Chapter 1095 will throw a lot of focus on God Valley and reveal bits of information about it that will shock the fans to their core. Furthermore, it also appears that there is going to be a God Valley flashback. Fans know that quite a lot of incredibly gifted fighters were present in God Valley on this day. The God Valley incident was fought by several powerful figures, including the members of the Rocks Pirates, which fans know were made up of the likes of Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, Shiki, among other legendary figures, and led by the legendary captain, Rocks. Furthermore, Garp and Roger were also present on the island on this day and, together, they managed to defeat Rocks. The Roger Pirates would also have likely played a great role in the God Valley incident, and the fans know that this flashback is likely the one that is most awaited at the moment in One Piece. Of course, there is the Void Century flashback that fans absolutely want to witness. However, it is going to be quite a long time before they get to see that. What they can see now, however, is a God Valley flashback, and it appears that information about it will start being revealed to the fans with One Piece Chapter 1095. Garling Figureland on God Valley. Among the many figures in God Valley, there was one who came to be known as the champion of God Valley. This person was none other than Garling Figureland, and fans know him to be an extremely powerful fighter. He was seen leading the Holy Knights recently, and he's the person who executed Saint Miosgard. This person appears to be very vicious and, at the same time, he is likely very strong as well. Saint Garling will be present in One Piece Chapter 1095 in some way or form. This can come in two ways. The first way that fans can see him is through this God Valley flashback. He was a champion of God Valley, meaning he played a great role in the God Valley War on the day that it happened. How exactly he did that remains to be seen. What fans do know, however, is the fact that God Valley had celestial dragons, and he most likely saved them and helped fight the pirate influence. That is likely why he's believed to be a champion among the celestial dragons, and perhaps fans can get a proper look at that in One Piece Chapter 1095. The second way Saint Garling could feature in One Piece Chapter 1095 is in the current timeline. Fans know that the Holy Knights are going to be on the move very soon. These Holy Knights are extremely powerful, and they will be moving against the Revolutionary Army. Saint Garling executed Don Quixote Miosgard recently. However, his role isn't over just yet. It is likely that he will be called into action very soon, and, when that happens, fans will get to see him descend to the Blue Sea for the very first time in a long time, possibly since the God Valley. This is going to be an extremely exciting development, and it is possible that One Piece Chapter 1095 will shed some light on this event as well. There are quite a lot of interesting developments in this week's chapter, and fans simply cannot wait. Crucial information on Shanks. It appears that Shanks is going to be a crucial part of One Piece Chapter 1095. The red-haired emperor is an extremely beloved figure who has been saved for the final saga by Oda. After Wano, he made it quite clear that Shanks was now going to join the race for the One Piece, and fans have seen quite a lot of him since then. The last time fans saw Shanks, he fought against Kid and absolutely dismantled his entire pirate crew. Now, it is time for him to make a move and progress his own character arc further. Just like with Garling, Shanks can feature in this chapter in two ways. The first way for Shanks to feature in the chapter is through advancing his own story in the current timeline. Shanks can possibly make some moves, and, in doing so, he would highlight exciting developments in the plot of the One Piece world in the final saga. However, the more likely way for Shanks to feature in the chapter is likely the God Valley flashback. Fans know that Shanks is a member of the Figureland family, which is the same family that St. Garling belongs to. Shanks was taken from God Valley by Roger, and his roots are tied to this mysterious place. By all means, Shanks is most likely going to feature heavily in this chapter through a flashback, or, if fans are lucky, maybe even in the current timeline. Luffy vs. Kizaru continues. It is also believed that the fight between Luffy and Kizaru is going to continue in One Piece chapter 1095. In the previous chapter, Luffy launched a powerful attack called White Star Gun on Kizaru, and knocked him into a nearby building. Luffy then claimed that he was out of all energy. Now, both of these characters appear to be fighting once again. How this is possible is something fans do not know at the moment. Kizaru appeared to be heavily injured, and that will likely still be the case in One Piece chapter 1095. Meanwhile, Luffy could be out of Gear 5. However, fans can expect him to continue in this form as well, and just as he did against Kaido. Quite clearly, One Piece chapter 1095 is full of major developments and big information reveals. Fans should hang on tight, because this chapter is likely going to be a massive one with huge implications for the future of One Piece. It also appears that One Piece will be on break after One Piece chapter 1095, and, sadly, fans will have to wait for the story to progress further. And in other news, One Piece, which devil fruit does Saturn have? J. Garcia Saturn is the center of every major One Piece discussion at the moment, and that is to be expected after he revealed his devil fruit powers in One Piece chapter 1094 for the very first time. The Egghead War is raging on with great intensity at the moment, and, now, one of the five elders has entered the fray and done so in quite some fashion, utilizing a powerful devil fruit ability, the name of which is unknown at the moment. This devil fruit seems to be demonic in nature, and its powers are incredible, to say the least. One thing that, strangely enough, Oda did was to keep the name of the devil fruit from the fans. This has led fans to theorize as to what Saturn's actual devil fruit is, and there are quite a few ideas floating around already. Saturn's devil fruit reveal. In One Piece chapter 1094, Saturn finally made his move for the very first time. Initially, he was not expecting to be called into action, however, fans knew that, at some point, he would have to. There was absolutely no way that Oda would have had him stationed right outside of Egghead without doing anything. In the previous chapter of One Piece, that is exactly what happened as Saturn uses demonic powers to create a summoning circle on Egghead, and then summon himself out of it. This demonic circle appears to be a part of his devil fruit ability. It sees him transform into a giant spider-like creature with the upper half of an ox or an oni. Furthermore, Saturn's powers also seem to be awakened, which has been hinted at by the fact that he has a cloud ring around his neck, which is very similar to the one that Lucci currently possesses, as does Kaku. Fans did not get to see many devil fruit abilities from him being utilized in the previous chapter, however. One of them was certainly shown when he blew off the head of one of the Marines. This was simply done because the Marine had the audacity to look at him when he was told not to. Every single Commodore and those below them are not allowed to have an audience with a member of the five elders. As such, they have to avoid their gaze, and if they make contact, they die on the spot. This also ties to the devil fruit powers of Saturn, and it appears to be quite a fearsome ability already. Saturn's devil fruit, Ushi Ushi no Mi model, Gyuki. One very popular name for Saturn's devil fruit would be the Ushi Ushi no Mi model, Gyuki. Saturn's devil fruit form appears to be based on Ushi Oni, a yokai from Japanese folklore, also known as Gyuki. Fans who have seen Naruto would recognize the fact that Killer Bee was somewhat of a similar creature. He had the upper half of an ox and the lower half of an octopus. In the case of the actual mythology, Ushi Oni has the upper half of an ox, while the lower half is that of a spider. This fits the description of Saturn perfectly. As seen in the previous chapter, Saturn has the lower half of a spider and the upper half of what appears to be either an oni or an ox. The horns that he possesses look more like those of an ox than an oni. Oni have featured in One Piece heavily, and Kaido and Yamato have both called themselves that. Their horns are different from the ones that Saturn possesses. Saturn has the horns of an ox, which further boosts the idea that he has the Ushi Ushi no Mi model, Gyuki. This also ties very well into the power that he utilized in the previous chapter. It is believed that whoever makes contact with Ushi Oni completely freezes and eventually dies. That is precisely what happened to one of the Marines, and it shows that this is a very overpowered ability already. Ushi Oni is also a demonic presence, and the fact that Saturn created a demonic summoning circle to summon himself onto Egghead in the previous chapter only solidifies this theory even further. Saturn's Devil Fruit, Kumo no Mi model, Ushi Oni. Another intriguing idea for Saturn's Devil Fruit would push him from the category of the Ushi Ushi no Mi into the Kumo no Mi. It is quite clear for the fans to see that Saturn, at the end of the day, is a spider-like creature. As such, his fruit can easily be a mythical spider, and this would then be tied to the Ushi Oni lore. The powers of the fruit would largely remain unchanged. At the end of the day, it is only the naming that would be different. However, this would also be an interesting idea as, in this case, it would focus more on the spider-like abilities of Saturn. This is down to the fact that the fruit would primarily be a spider fruit rather than an ox fruit. His powers, such as the ability to spew poison or to use webs, among other things, would then be focused on quite heavily in One Piece. This would also tie very well to the Ushi Oni lore. It is believed that the Ushi Oni has the ability to spew venom. Ushi Oni is believed to be capable of poisoning humans and then enjoy eating their flesh. Whether Saturn enjoys eating flesh or not is something that fans do not know at the moment, and likely should not be betting on, since this is One Piece. However, fans absolutely know that he can have the power to spit venom, and this could be far more dangerous than any other type of this power that they have seen, including Magellan's Devil Fruit, Saturn's Oni Devil Fruit. One more angle that Oda could take on this Devil Fruit is simply to give him an Oni Fruit. This could potentially fall into the category of the Hito no Mi, as Oni are technically similar to humans. In that case, it could strengthen the idea that every single member of the five elders is a user of the Hito no Mi, with different models that allow them to transform into different creatures similar to human-animal hybrids. Saturn could easily have an Oni Devil Fruit, and in his case, it would be the Ushi Oni. As to how Oda could name this fruit, it is quite difficult to predict that at the moment. Nonetheless, the idea of an Oni fruit is also a very interesting one, given that it would then focus more on the mythological abilities of these monstrous creatures and the barbaric nature of this member of the five elders. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon.